Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. It is Tuesday, right, guys? I think so. Actually, yes, it is Tuesday. I was thinking it was Wednesday. I don't know why. But, guys, we got one thing kind of checked off the list. I actually should have put that on my planner for today. So I got a couple things checked off of my list on my planner today. Going to the AT&T store to go and pick up my new phone would have been was on my list of the things I knew was getting done today. It was just, yeah, I didn't put it on there, so that's the next thing that I got to check off my list. But I told you guys kind of in yesterday's vlog the whole phone situation. I ended up getting my new phone. I ended up getting an iPhone 12 white with 128 gigs because I think the lowest you can get is 68 or something like that, and I figured it was, I think that's it was $7.99 for that. I figured for an extra $50 I can double the storage and like still be within what I was budgeting, you know, to pay for the phone. I had no clue because there's no home button. I had no clue how to get into this thing the first time. The guy was like at the store, he was like, okay, go ahead and check to make sure that like all of your stuff that your apps downloaded and stuff like that, because we had to switch all the SIM cards over, so we just had them do it when we were there. Ended up switching them over, and so since he was getting rid of all the stuff on my old phone, he wanted to make sure that everything got transferred correctly over on my new one. Like, check your photos, you know, just make sure that your apps, they all look like they're there and everything like that. I went into like my messages just to check to see like, oh, did all that stuff sync up in like contacts and stuff like that, and I was like, yep, it looks like everything's there. And I only checked one app because I couldn't figure out to get back out of it and like back to the home screen so I could check on the other apps, and I was like, I don't know how else to do this, and I know I'm gonna sound stupid, but there's no home button on here. So then once we were actually in the store for a little while longer, once he was done with my phone and then switching over Jack's, I was playing around with it, and I was like, okay, now I figured out how to do it. I just felt really dumb. But yeah, I got that. I also ended up getting a new like case and everything like that for it as well, because I was like, I didn't want to wait until the next time I go out to like Target or something like that to go and pick one up. My dad just ended up buying us each one, I guess, as a Christmas present. You know, because he's like, I really, especially with Jax, he was like, I really don't want anything to happen to his, because the other one he just destroyed. Like, I mean, it was, pieces were like chipped and cracked. Old phone was in pretty horrible shape compared to how I gave it to him, which was in pretty much pristine shape. And so this one too, again, the one that I just gave him, which was my old phone, was also in like pretty much pristine shape. And so and my dad was like, I don't want to see anything happen to it, like, you know, and then him not be able to use it, because on his old phone the home button didn't work. My dad got it fixed once for him, and then that was when I think he put it in his football bag. Somebody stepped on it with their cleat because he left it like laying out at like practice, and somebody ended up running on it and like stepped right on his phone and I think broke it a second time. So there's actually something that you can do where you can bypass using the home button, which is kind of cool, and Jack figured out how to do that. I would have never figured it out, but he obviously put it through a lot of damage, and so my dad's like, I definitely don't want anything to happen to his new phone. That was what we ended up going and getting today. And on top of that too though, I got the bathroom cleaned, I got dishes and laundry done. I didn't actually, by the time we got back from the AT&T store, I spent a ton of time messing around on the phone trying to figure things out, set stuff up, and then also to sign into everything as well. So I spent a good amount of time on that, but that was like a one-time thing. Like, I'm not gonna be, you know, I know how to use it now. And again, stuff is signed into too, like social media accounts, email accounts. Actually, I don't think I did my email. I still have to probably do that. Just a lot of that stuff I got all taken care of. You know, so that was, like I said, signing into everything. Like, once you upgrade, get a new phone or whatever and stuff like that, I had to go back through and sign into everything, which the first time that I got a new phone, which was my now old phone, I remember it took me forever because I couldn't remember the passwords to like half of my accounts, and I was like, oh my gosh, why did I upgrade like now? I should have like written down all the passwords and all that kind of stuff. And this time I was like, okay, I got this. And actually went to the AT&T store, and I was terrified I was gonna forget the password for my my Apple ID too. When he asked me for it, I got it on the first try, and I was like, I don't know how that happened. I was like, I actually thought it was a different like password, and ended up being the right one that I put in the first time. So all of that ended up working out. Like I said, so far I haven't had any issues. You know, I got everything downloaded and all that stuff is there and everything. But I spent a good amount of time again playing around sort of with that. I also have a couple of cute pictures of Charlie because I was testing out the camera features in it, and so I've got like 3 cute little pictures of Charlie because he was actually being calm and modeling for me. And so I, like I said, was messing around with sort of everything too, because the camera was one of the things that I was a little bit more excited about. But at the same time too, I was like, honestly, anything will be an upgrade from the phone that I have now. But the selling feature on the Pro, like the iPhone 12 Pro for me, was only the camera. Like other than that, I ended up getting actually the same gigs as the lowest one, like the cheapest of the Pro. And so I was like, I just don't know if I can justify spending that much money really for just like a camera upgrade. I don't take that many pictures, and so again, anything would sort of, you know, and I have this camera, so if it's ever a time I want to take good pictures, this is the camera I would use for that most likely. And anything I want to take really amazing pictures with, I'll probably use just my mom's camera, because she has like, you know, that super crazy far zoom lens, and you know, like I said, all that kind of stuff. So you know, if there's ever a time like I really need to use that stuff, I'm going bird watching or something in the backyard, I'm gonna use her camera for any of that kind of stuff anyway. My phone wouldn't even really do it justice. You know, even getting like the Pro, I feel like wouldn't even be as good as using hers. So that's why I was like, you know, for me, 2 above average pictures, or at least better than mine were, I'm fine with. I don't really need to spend like at the Pro for just the extra like camera features, which is really what the only thing that kind of, like I said, sold me on. The other like features are kind of almost all the same. So there wasn't like one thing where it was like, oh my gosh, like this has this thing and this one doesn't, or like the mini and stuff like that too. The only reason I didn't want the mini was because I didn't want something super small. Like I think the mini is actually around the same size as my old phone, and I was like, I do want something that's like a little bit bigger. But now holding this one, I feel like I have tiny little hands. I feel like the Pro, like I wouldn't even know, I wouldn't even be able to hold it in one hand. I'd have to use 2. So that was why, like I said, I ended up going with, that was my deciding factors on everything and all the stuff I ended up picking out and everything. But anyway, so I didn't end up actually editing or uploading, because by the time I was done playing around with that today, I was like, oh my gosh, it's 9, it was like 9 or 9:30, and normally it takes me like maybe 2 hours to edit and upload. If I'm editing and uploading at the same time, it can take me like maybe about 2 hours. And so I was like, I'm not probably gonna have enough time, and I wanted to get to bed earlier than I am right now, especially because my phone, I set up the health app, which I had on my other one, but I just like sort of reset it up and everything like that, and so it was going off and telling me like, okay, you're gonna be on do not disturb now because it's supposed to be your bedtime. So actually I should be in bed asleep by like midnight. It's a little bit before that, but I still have to take a shower. And I woke up early though today, which was actually really good. I got up at about 8 o'clock this morning, so I actually was able to get a lot of things done. Like I said, cleaned the bathroom, got dishes, laundry done, all that kind of stuff, made dinner for tonight, did a whole bunch of things. I knew that, again, we did have that to go to, and it took about an hour at the AT&T store. Then we also had to run to Jewel because my mom needed stamps, so we were there and gone for like maybe another 15 minutes on top of that. Then came home, and like I said, I was setting all of this stuff up, and I'm sure that was what Jack was doing with his phone too, was setting up a lot of stuff, signing in, all that kind of stuff. So excited now that I have that. On top of that too, one of the other things that we were having a little bit of a problem with was that we had like an old plan through AT&T, and so we didn't have unlimited data, and which I guess like the guy was sort of telling us like they're phasing out like their, you know, like you only pay so much for data and stuff like that. We kept going over, and so we'd have to pay extra for it. And so he's like, well, with unlimited data, with the 5 lines that we have, we'd still be paying the exact same amount, and we won't accidentally be going over and having to pay more. So my dad's like, yeah, let's do that. Because that was one of the things that my dad also wanted to go in there for today. So we obviously had to do that first, and then get all the phone situation stuff taken care of too. I'm happy I got up early because that meant I was able to get the stuff done earlier today that I knew I wasn't going to be able to do in the afternoon. But hope I can get up tomorrow too. I'm actually going to have to figure out if this scary alarm clock on the phone wakes me up, because my old phone, I slept right through it. I also sleep through my 2 alarm clocks. So we'll see if this phone is like the saving grace and wakes me up in the morning because I'm not very good about making sure that I get up in the morning, and I, like I said, can sleep through my alarms a lot of times. So we'll see if this one actually can keep me up in the morning and get me up. That would be cool. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all very soon shiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.